Hi guys, welcome to Small Steps to Freedom, the channel where we discuss all things personal finance and financial freedom. Welcome to another episode of Small Steps to Freedom. On this episode, we'll be talking about black tax and specifically how you can actually be budgeting for your black tax. So essentially, black tax is understood generally as a financial burden that's felt mostly by young working black professionals to provide financially for their families or less privileged ones within their families who actually may have also helped them to get to where they are. So this black tax can come in very different forms, from being expected to provide groceries, being expected to actually raise younger ones within the family or provide their monthly subsistence in the form of fees or in the form of housing. So that is essentially what black tax is. That definition definitely doesn't cover every aspect of it, but it does cover the essence of it, especially for this video. So when you're planning for black tax, you should be planning both for short and long term. So by short term expenses would be anything that is going to happen within the year. So for example, if you're going to buy groceries for your family in December, that would count as a short term expense that you'll then be able to save, let's say, every month until you reach December. So you can decide if you want to save 500 rand a month until you reach December, or whatever amount you want to save. So that would be a short-term expense under black tax. But short-term expenses can also include the monthly subsistence of your family if you are actually taking care of your family on a month-to-month basis. So long-term plans for black tax would be looking at actually creating wealth and actually creating intergenerational wealth within your family so that you can actually break the cycle of black tax. So if you're looking to actually build wealth, that means you're building and actually accumulating assets that you can pass on to the next generation so that they can also build on top of those assets and pass it on to the next generation, and then you can build wealth within your family. The way you actually differentiate between the short-term and long-term expenses or the short-term and long-term plan for black tax is by saying that the short-term plan for your black tax is essentially anything that addresses current problems or anything that's actually needed now. And then the long-term expenses would be anything that will actually help your family to get out of the cycle of black tax, for example. So short-term expenses would be something like you're sustaining your family on a monthly basis, or you're providing for their living or shelter, groceries, for example, or you are providing groceries and clothing at the end of the year in December. So those would be short-term expenses. Long-term expenses would be anything that you're actually planning around wealth building within your family. So this is about focusing on generating wealth or creating wealth within your family, intergenerational wealth specifically. So you'll be focusing on accumulating assets that you can pass on to members of the family or to your own children, who can also build on top of that so as to break the cycle of black tax, which is essentially what the goal should be. Like a lot of concepts in personal finance, this requires a change in mindset or a change in perspective, because now you'll be looking at the bigger picture and planning both for short-term and long-term expenses. So for example, if your sister, like mine, asks you for 4,000 rand worth of sneakers, you are able to say no in a way that you actually know that you have a plan, and you know that 4,000 rands would be better spent actually investing in the long term for her future as well. Also challenges you to have a different mindset and to have a very clear goal and a very clear motivation as to why you want to plan for your family's expenses and why you want to take your family out of that situation. And then also a really big thing as well is relationships. Personal relationships come into play a lot. So black tax is a really complex matter. This video does not cover every aspect of black tax, but it definitely does cover the core matters that come into play when it comes to your budget. If you definitely want to actually research this more and learn more about black tax, or actually how you can take control of black tax, you can check out books like Black Tax Burden or Ubuntu by Niq Mhlongo. You can also check out a blog post that I wrote on how to manage black tax as well on Frugal Local's website. I'll have the links down below. If you enjoyed this content or found it helpful, please feel free to share it with your friends or your family, as well as to give this video a like, subscribe, as well as comment with any thoughts or perspectives that you might have. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm very vocal on personal finance in that space, and let's have a conversation. Bye.